European leagues. This is a showdown between Nathan Blewitt and Dawid Melnarowicz. These guys have split modern and standard, so this is the showdown to decide who's going to take down the league points for this week. The live ladder for these two, it's David's got 5 and Nathan's got 4 points, so whoever wins is going to take out up 8 or 9 points for the week. Just waiting for them to start so we can jump in. Okay, they're dueling. We're in. David's on the bottom of the screen, and Nathan is at the top. I'm guessing they play especially David plays a legacy deck that takes a bit longer because he said yesterday that he doesn't have time to play in 30 minutes. Just one format, so we'll have to see what he's on. We're looking at this is David's hand. He's on the same deck we just saw, which is the Death and Taxes up against Elves. Interesting because Nathan played Elves yesterday in Modern as well, a bit of a home brew that he had, and he managed to get the win because of the Planeswalker Nissa Ravan. The pluses of Nissa were just too much to overcome for the affinity deck of Dawid. We see he's just run out he'll play his Ether Vial turn 1. Nathan's Legacy Elves is a deck, in our group anyway, Next Mage, MTG X Mage League, was popularised by one of our, I'll call them, even though we don't have divisions, he's clearly a Division 1 player, Oliver King. He's played Legacy Elves for some time and to great success as well. I have to say straight off the bat, I'm not a Legacy expert, so this matchup, my inclination is that it heavily favours the Elves, largely because there's not a lot of non-creature spells on his side. So Thalia and the Phyrexian Revoker here are not going to be fantastic. One card that was lousy in the last match, but is going to be good here, is that particular card he just drew, Mother of Ruins. So we just switch back to Nathan's hand for a minute. He's going to have this little interaction here for Llanowar Elves where he can tap it for mana and then play the Symbiote to untap it and tap it again. This deck is you watch Oliver play it, it's very important to sequence correctly. One of the classic matches that we would have somewhere in our YouTube channel, there's over 260 videos there now, but one of the classic matches was where Oliver was facing Show and Tell with Elves and actually got an Emrakul, wiped his board with Emrakul and still came back and won the match. So here's where we're going to see it possibly do something this turn, although he didn't get that second land. The second land would have made a big difference. Exiles Elvish Spirit Guide. Okay, so Phyrexian Revoker does have a target. It can name Elvish Archdruid to shut off that mana gain. Or is it non-mana abilities? Let me double check. No, yeah, you can shut off the Elvish Archdruid with Phyrexian Revoker. now for Swords to Plowshares, he's got two options. And you can see the difference here by not hitting that second land drop for Nathan. If he did, he could have had that, is it Symbiote? Wirewood Symbiote, which enables him to protect something like the Archdruid from Swords to Plowshares. So Dawid just going through sequencing here. He can, I think the correct play is to cast Mother of Ruins and then cast Swords to Plowshares on Archdruid, or if he wants to go the other route, he can Ether Violin Phyrexian Revoker to name Archdruid. The only thing going against that idea is that the Archdruid is actually a lord, so he's pumping the other elves. So it might be a creature to get off the board. So he's just going to pass. Okay, so he's going to try and 1, 2, he's going to go for the Glimpse of Nature. So this is going to draw him a ton of cards. I think we'll switch over here. Floats 2 blue, so you can play the Nettle Sentinel, draw a card, untap. He can play the Wirewood, so he can return the Sentinel, untap Llanowar Elves, and play it back. Still with 1 green floating. I think if he wasn't going to, he can use that to actually recast the Sentinel. Queron Ranger. Okay, so he's going to be able to go off again with the Queron Ranger. Return a forest here if he wants to. Untap Elves. Draws another Queron Ranger. Yeah, Dawid makes a comment that someone likes elves here, I see, because he played elves in Modern as well. So he can do it one more time if he returns something like Nettle Sentinel. He can untap the Llanowar Elves and then replay the Sentinel back out again. But when you see this deck do its thing, it really doesn't look like a good matchup for the Death and Taxes player. So out comes the Nettle Sentinel again for another draw. Now, does he Summoner's Pact? I don't think you can summon this pact here because you've got to tap the Druid first. Why does he only get 2? Oh, there's not a elf that someone doesn't. Symbiote's not an elf. Yes, he's played 2 Glimpse of Natures now. But he needs to get another 1-drop so he can draw some more cards. There it is. So the second query on it and the third is going to enable him to return that forest to untap the Archdruid. And is he going to be able to get an Alpha Strike here with the Zuri next turn? What is going on? He's left X-Mage. See. It looks like there's some sort of bug going on with X-Mage here. I haven't seen this one before. I said that he left X-Mage. This is super risky going for the Summoner's Pact here because if Dawid has a removal spell like a Swords to Plowshares for the Archdruid, then he's not going to be able to pay the Pact, which he does have. So he's going to have to run out at least another Archdruid here. Although he can pay it through the Heritage Druid as well. He's packed for Shaman. Does he have? He doesn't have black mana to play that card. Yeah, this is Dawid's calling it the Wombo combo. It's just kind of sit here and watch. He's got 2 Archdruids, 2 Heritage Druids, so he does have cover for the Summoner's Pact now. He's got to get black somehow. If he can get 2 black...
Welcome home. It's nice to have you here.
The hell? Somebody's hijacking my Alexa. If he can get 2 black sources, then he just wins on the spot here. Because his 2 shamans will be more than enough to do the damage. I'm just waiting to see how he's going to get the black source. What am I missing here? How is he playing that spell? Oh, okay. Birchlaw Rangers enables him to do it. Alright, yeah, so he's comboed off. So, after all of that, Nathan is going to take game 1 with elves. That's a very long combo there. And there's the second one. So game 1, it's a turn 2 kill for Legacy Elves. And we'll go to sideboarding. I don't know if this deck, the Death and Taxes deck, plays any spell, anything that only... David doesn't know what happened. He says, what? I'm lost. What happened? Takes 13 life. And we're going to go to sideboarding after all of that. I think David's comment is the comment of the day. What happened? There is that creature, that 2 mana Ether Sworn Canonist. Yeah, Ether Sworn Canonist I think will be very good here out of David's deck if he's got it. And it means that they can only play 1 spell per turn. It's kind of Storm for Storm, but certainly will go very well here. In terms of the Elves player, I think it's more of the same. He might be tempted to bring in artifact removal, but I think it's just a very good matchup for him. I don't know how many flex slots Legacy Elves has. In this match yesterday, because they couldn't finish their 3 formats, so they had to come back, Nathan played a kind of it was Elves, but he had a few homebrew pieces in there, and we were kind of skeptical of him on camera at the time, but it ended up working out very well and he got the match won. You can see here for David, he's got the Canonist in his opening hand. Doesn't have the second land, and we saw in the previous game that Elves went off turn 2, so he'll be under pressure to find that second one. I think Sanctum Prelate is no good in this matchup. Okay, we're back. We'll see what's on the other side for Nathan. No land, so I don't think he's keeping this one. Although the Elvish Spirit Guide, he's got 2 Elvish Spirit Guides. Can get him 2. I think he's going to bargain. David's going to keep his hand, so he's playing out for the... Okay, there's the hits. There's a second, I mean the land. So David's playing towards a second land. Second land, and I think he has game. Although this particular hand from is not fantastic from Nathan either. He's still considering it. He's going to go to 5. Oh no. No lands there. Okay, now he's going to be forced to keep this at 4. Yeah, that was a risky one. A big call to go from 6 to 5 there. Didn't have enough threats. He needed more threats. Depending on how many lands this deck plays as well. I think David might have this one. We'll see what the draw is here. It's turn 2, so he wants to hit a land off the top here. Get that Canonist down. Yeah, mull to 4 is going to be tough. I'll be impressed if he can win this through a mull to 4. So let's see if he gets that second land. He's going to have time anyway next turn to play the Canonist out. So he's not mucking around, he's just going to shut off that mana source, which without knowing the hand he's up against is a good play. See what the draw is on the other side for Nathan. Sees nothing going on, so that was a good swords to plowshares. So he's got a number of options now. I think this is turn 2, so he can't play the Seer Avenger yet. Or the third turn. Okay, so he's got to wait to turn 4. What's he running out here? Actually, he can run out the Seer Avenger because it's not cast. I think he should have done it the other way around. Cast Aethersworn Canonist and use the Vial to get Seer Avenger into play. Because the rule is you can't cast it, but Aether Vial doesn't cast. And so, and it would have been a good beater as well, 3/3 flyer. Elves will have nothing that can answer that, and can only play 1 card per turn. Yeah, and you can see Nathan says, well, that's game. Are we going to game 3? He doesn't have any removal? Yeah, he's going to concede. So we're going to game 3 immediately. Ether Swarm Canonist, the play there. So this is the deciding match. Both of these guys have done pretty well to pick up a good amount of points. They're going to get at least 5 points each. And they're straight back into it very quickly. Oh, he's got it in his hand again. See what he's up against. Oh, that's down to 5. He's mulled to 5 to find those. I think he's got to keep that at 4. But again, it's not a good hand. Yeah, so it doesn't look good. So the L's deck looks fantastic when it goes off, but not good when it doesn't go off. And he says, Nathan says, no luck, but wait until you sees what's in Dawid's hand. We'll see if we get the concession straight away again. As you can see, no mana dork turn 1. I think you just run out, yeah, just run out the Mother of Ruins, ship the turn, show him the Ether Swarm Canonist next, and see if he wants to continue playing. He's only got 2 cards in hand. I think he might just fold once he sees this. Especially now because the Mother of Ruins is going to be able to protect the Canonist. What he could have actually, no. He could have actually run out the Birchlaw Ranger first there and used it, the Quirion and the Birchlaw to tap to get a mana, and then use the other mana to play Priest of Titania. Okay, so here comes the Canonist. Actually, the reason he would keep the Birchlaw Ranger is because he needs it for a cantrip. And yeah, he concedes as soon as he sees Ether Swarm Canonist. So Dawid's going to, both these players playing in their first league games, and he's going to start off with the win. But good performances for both in their first league appearances. Thanks for joining me.